Hi, I'm Dr. Christopher Mullane, and today I'd like to share with you the most common causes of arthritis and, in my experience, the most effective ways in treating the problems associated with it. Now, arthritis occurs primarily due to two reasons. The first reason being major trauma, and the second being minor trauma. Major trauma is in the form of a car accident or a fall, whereas minor trauma is more of the repetitive activities, such as, excessively turning or bending, sitting for long periods of time, or even poor posture over an extended period of time would be classified as minor trauma. Now, when a patient has an injury due to trauma, whether it's minor or major, it will go through the three phases of healing. Now, the three phases of healing are one, the inflammatory phase, where there's a lot of inflammation, the repair phase, and the remodel phase. Now, when you don't have the proper healing in all three phases of these healing processes or healing phases, you'll develop arthritis or osteoarthritis. And what that'll lead to is you're going to have a decreased amount of strength in the tissue. You're not going to be as flexible in that tissue. And you're also going to have an increase in the nerve sensitivity. Basically, you're going to feel the pain a whole lot faster because the nerves are firing a little quicker. So essentially, when you're not healing properly, you'll have three common symptoms with arthritis. First being pain in some form. The second being muscle spasms, muscle tension, tightness. And the third being a restricted motion, and your range of motion won't be able to be as freely moved along that range. And in my experience, there's three effective treatments that'll help alleviate the problems associated with arthritis. Now, the first being chiropractic spinal manipulation, the second being electrical muscle stimulation, and the third is called intersegmental traction therapy. Let's talk a little bit about the spinal manipulation. Now, this is applied to a specific region, and it'll help alleviate any of the pressure associated on the joints, the muscles, the nerves into that area, and essentially allow for a reduction of pain. You'll be able to move a little bit easier, and you won't have as many muscle spasms and as much muscle tension. Now, the second therapy I like to talk about is electrical muscle stimulation. What this does is it applies a gentle electrical current to the affected area. It'll help reduce any inflammation and swelling in that area, and it'll help reduce the pain because of it. So also you'll have these muscles that are really, really tense and tight, but the muscle stimulation will help them relax and reduce those muscle spasms. And finally, now you'll be able to move a little bit easier without so many restrictions. And then the third and the last therapy I'd like to talk about that's really helpful when it comes to patients with arthritis is intersegmental traction therapy. What this does is it tractions the joints away from one another, allowing for a little bit more space and takes the pressure off of those areas in the spine, such as the joints or the disc or the nerves. What this will do is it'll help relieve any of the pain. You'll have a reduction in the muscle spasms, and again, your range of motion will be improved because there's not as much restriction to that area. So in summary, when these three therapies are used in combination with each other, they're extremely effective, and they can drastically reduce or stop pain immediately. They can also reduce any of the muscle spasms and muscle tension that's associated with these conditions, as well as improve your range of motion. So what does this mean? What does this mean to you? It means essentially you'll be able to do a few things a little bit easier. You'll be able to go to work and perform your job activities a little bit more freely and not as restricted when you're trying to do those activities. Two, you'll be able to sleep throughout the night a little bit easier. You'll get a better night's rest, essentially. You'll be able to fall asleep easier. You won't wake up as constantly. And then finally, you're going to be able to perform your daily activities, whether it's getting up in the morning, getting dressed, doing housework, playing with your kids. One of those, debilitating things about arthritis is it prevents us from doing these things. So if you're having problems associated with arthritis pain, please give us a call so that we can help you. You can reach us at 803-599-5902.